Okay, listen. Here we go. The Saints. Who gonna beat them Saints? I tell you who is. The Vikings. Yes. Like, so this is your traditional group of quarterbacks, okay? Jameis didn't play. I'm not sure if it's because of injury or whatnot, okay? But do you know who Jameis's backup was? Andy Dalton. Andy Dalton is still a player, but I think we forget because you get on bad teams, you have a bad group of receivers, you have a bad injury here and there, and for the most part, you know, the fan base and unfortunately the way the game is moving, they write quarterbacks off like they sign them. Oh, he stinks. He helped Dallas. He got Dallas out a year ago. Don't forget about that. And when Dallas came back, Dak came back. We ain't gonna get into Dallas. But anyway, Andy Dalton, okay, he showed up. He went 20 for 28. He threw the ball for 236 yards and a touchdown. Boom. Who is Andy Dalton? You may not remember the TCU Andy Dalton, redhead on fire, was a Heisman Trophy candidate. He didn't all of a sudden just stink. Organizations, here's the number one issue that quarterbacks have. They can be victims of the organization, the ball club, they can be victims of the coaching, and they can be victims of the overall cast around them. Okay, and so Andy Dalton has some hot years, and he had some hot early years, and he's coming off the bench with an organization that I believe didn't know who was going to replace Boy Wonder Breeze. And so Jameis does have a big-time arm, but his decision-making isn't always great. Andy Dalton, let's call him... Andy Dalton is a seasoned quarterback who happens to be on the bench, but is an NFL starter. So shout out to Andy Dalton, though they did not get it done. Why they didn't get it done? Because of Kirk Cousins. Shout out to Michigan State, the Smarties. Okay, so here's one of the most interesting things as we talk about quarterback support. Quarterback support means a lot. Kirk Cousins was drafted in the same class as Robert Griffin. And so, well, Coach, what is your point? Well, Kirk Cousins was drafted as a safety net for Robert Griffin based on his playing style. Now, as we talk, we just exited the injury of Tua. So I believe that Kirk Cousins, unfortunately, his career, and if you're a football historian at least, his career will always be attached to the debacle of the Washington, at that point formerly known as the Washington Redskins. And so, yes, they draft Robert Griffin in the first round, the number one pick, Heisman Trophy candidate, Baylor University, Robert Griffin III. Right? So after Robert Griffin, I think they drafted Kurt in the 4th and 5th. I can look this up just to be solid, but I think that's when they drafted him. Okay? And so here's the kicker. They drafted him, I think in the 5th round, it does say, and I'm not going to get into all of that, I guess. But here's my point. He was a safety net that no one really thought much of, and he is a career quarterback traveler who always comes out starting, always comes out on top, but he is a byproduct of an organization that did not expect much of him, and so he could develop himself based on his expectation, based on his own ambition, and I think Kirk Cousins, this is what you see. You know, for every team Kurt has been he is competitive, he goes after it, and whether they trade him, waive him, whatever it is they want to do in the front office, he done earned his worth by the time he gets to where he is going. So, now you talk about good quarterback play, he went 25 for 35, threw for 273 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 pick. It wasn't great. So who's a better quarterback performance? Andy Dalton. And the way the game ended in the field goal, look, that's the NFL. The margin of error is like, and so, shout out to the Vikings. I'm glad they lost because we need the Lions to rebound. We'll get to the Lions. That's a great segue, but either way it goes. Shout out to Andy Dalton for coming back. This is the year of the quarterback you forgot about. Flat out. The quarterback you forgot about is about to come out and give you everything you want to shout about. Bars.